Good afternoon. Today is the 12th of October and it's time for us to take our monthly look at the top 10 best-selling cars of September 2023. September is one of the biggest months in this country for car sales. That's really no surprise because it's when we get a plate change, in this case 73 registration. And there's also some good news that we are actually up by 21% on September 2022. When I talk about sales, I mean registrations. I mean, if you go and order a car from the local Ford dealership here, Hendy Ford, and you say you want it delivered, the chances are, unless that car's in stock, that it's not going to come this month if we've got to build it. So that's actually the difference. They record registrations on the figures, but I just call them sales because it just kind of sounds a bit better. That's why you'll hear me use both the terms interchangeably. The sad thing is, I've looked at the figures since about 2007, I think, and we're still not really back up to the level we were before the pandemic happened. If we look at the sort of graph, we're not even at the level of 2020 yet, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously 2020 was a funny old year with the latter months having much delayed registrations logged onto the system. So there's that, but we're just nowhere near any of the years from 2007 to 2019, which is a shame, but we are 21% up on last year. Obviously, we first of all will look at the power source mix. And of course, there is a reason why we don't talk about diesels on this channel. It's because there has been a 4.2% drop in market share. What a surprise. Yes, last year there were just over 10,000 forbidden fuel cars registered. In September last month, that figure had actually moved to below 10%. The market share that it now actually has gone from 4.6% to 3.6%. It's one of the rare kind of things, actually, across all the figures from last month, it's actually gone down. Every other figure is up in terms of power source. So, for example, we've got petrol, which is up 15%. Obviously, the market has changed by 21%, so it's not quite the same market share that it was, because it's not quite kept pace with the growth of demand in the market. Nevertheless, it's only gone from 40.7% to 38.7%. And number of cars sold has gone from 92,000 to 105,500. The next one on the list is mild hybrid forbidden fuel, which actually has gone up very slightly. It's probably because the majority of cars that still have those engines are mild hybrids now. They just are, due to emissions reasons, and that's actually almost got above their older counterparts. So in September 2022 there were 8,600 cars of that type registered. Last month was 9,000, which is a 4.8% increase, but the market share has still dropped from 3.8 to 3.3% because it hasn't kept up with the overall trend. The next one is mild hybrid petrol. This is a lot of cars now. Loads of Volkswagens, Kias, Hyundais, Suzukis, tons of them. So last year, September 2022, there were 35,000 of these sold. Last month was 46,000, a 31.8% change. So the market share of those has gone from 15.6% to 17%. If we take that into consideration with the overall number of petrol and mild hybrid petrol cars that are sold, so about 39% plus 17%, which matches my strong suit, but I made that about 46%. Next one on the list is battery electric vehicles, pure electric vehicles. Interestingly, these have not kept pace with the overall increase in the market. We're seeing the very, very early signs here of a possible decline, say like next month. In this case, it's not actually a decline because the number of cars sold has actually gone up, but it's not kept pace with the market. And obviously the price of second-hand electric cars is falling far more rapidly than any other type of power source. So yes, if we look at the figures here, it was 38,000 in September 22. Last month it was 45,000, so 90% increase. Let me just pick that up. 90% increase. The market share's gone from 16.9 to 16.6. So we're seeing a very, very early signs of something going on there. Let's look at now the plug-in hybrids. This is not the same at all. Far more plug-in hybrid. I think this is still due to tax reasons and company cars and that sort of thing. It's a 51% increase. The market share has gone from 5.5% to 7%, and number of cars sold has gone from 12,000 to about 18,500. Next one is hybrid electric cars. These are things like the Toyota Corolla. They are things like the Suzuki Vitara and Suzuki S-Cross full hybrid. They also have mild hybrid versions of those. We do a full hybrid ones of these. And the market share has gone from 12.9% to 30.9%. It's about a 31% increase. And the number of cars sold has gone from 29,000 to 38,000. So we need to now look at the breakdown by sort of market sectors. So we've got private, fleet and business. Private, the percentage change actually is quite small in number of cars sold. It's about 6%. So the market share has gone down from 51.6% to 45% since last September. But we're talking a lot of cars sold. Last year was 116,000. Last month, 123,000. Fleet, which used to make up absolutely for certain the majority of cars sold in this country. It was well over sort of, in some cases, I think up to like 55-60%. Last year in September, it was 45%. Actually, it's now 52.5%. So it's kind of gradually kind of moving that way. Number of cars sold has gone from 102,000 to 143,000. So very much still catering for the fleet buyer. That's why you see so many cars around with leasing company names on the number plates. Business, this is a tiny fraction of the market. It was 3.2% last September. Last month was 2.4%. The percentage change actually is 12%, so it's down, but not very significantly, from 7,300 to 6,400. Now we need to look at the top 10 best-selling cars. Not too many surprises in here, apart from one particular manufacturer that we'll come back to a bit later. So the figures will sound a lot higher than they were last month that I did this. So from August figures, and the top one's the Qashqai. That's no surprise, 8,600 approximately. Then we get to the Ford Puma in second place, which is currently the best-selling car in this country. I really must do a test one. I have been offered 2023 Puma, so I will do a test one at some point. I just need to contact the lady who owns that and arrange it. And then we have a big change to number 3, which is the Kia Sportage. Again, no stranger to the top 10 at all, 5,700. Then the Ford Kuga, again, a very popular car, 4,638. Then fifth, the MG ZS. I presume that's electric and it's combustion variants. There are 1.5 and 1 litre petrol engines, as well as the EV fully electric one. 4,613. Then the next, the Hyundai Tucson, again no stranger to the top 10. The Tucson and the Sportage always jostle position in the top 10. Yeah, it's 45, 46 in 6th position. Then the Corsa, which is not having the best year. It was last year's best-selling car, and it's not doing that well. It could be that segment, which has been vacated by the Fiesta since the summer, has just had its day. Whether that's down to like manufacturers and regulations, or it's just down to consumer preference, I don't know. But there we go. So 44.85 is very close. 7th place. 8th place for Polo, 44.27, so very close to the Corsa. 9th position is the Nissan Duke, 44.11, and then 10th, another MG, 4,030 cars. It's the MG HS. So now we come to what's my favourite part of the video. It's where we look at how the individual brands are doing, and there are some great successes and some disappointments. Abbas, they've had a very good month. Percentage change is 190% up. Market share's gone from 0.04 to 0.11. Number of cars sold has gone from 99 to 288. That's because of all these new electric ones that are coming out. Just like a sort of version of the electric Fiat 500. So I'm sure some people are quite interested in them, but they're quite small and they don't have a very good range. So maybe not. Alfa Romeo, this is a bit of a disappointment. So any figure above 21% is really good, because that's what the market is showing. Its growth over last year. Alfa Romeo down 34%. Market share has dropped from 0.13 to 0.07. Number of cars sold has gone from 287 to 189. I've got a test of the Alfa Romeo Tonale plug-in hybrid coming up at some point soon, and unfortunately, like Mr. Richardson, who also has driven one this year, I wasn't actually very impressed with that car. Yeah, mainly because of the way it drove, which is strange for an Alfa Romeo. Alpine sales are still really small, we can't really say. Audi, oh my goodness me. 47% increase. Market share has gone from 5.7% to 6.9%. Number of cars sold has gone from 13,000 to 19,000. Audi sold 19,000. For context, Ford only sold 20,600 cars. Why people keep on insisting that Audi is anything more than a mainstream brand, I don't know. It certainly doesn't have the figures to suggest that at all. BMW were kind of at that sort of level. They've gone down a bit, so have Mercedes, but Audi, they're just everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. They're far more popular than Vauxhalls in this country, which to me is very strange, but that's just the way it is. Bentley, not the best month. 20% decrease. Market share has gone from 0.08 to 0.05. Number of cars sold has gone from 183 to 147. It's not that much of a drop in figures, but in terms of the share, it sort of is. So BMW, minus 7%. Market share has gone from about 6% to 4.6%. Number of cars sold, though, has not changed that much. It's gone from about, if we look here, 13,400 to 12,500. So it's not that much of a change, but because the market's up, it sort of is. BYD, nothing to compare it against. I'll have to come back to that next year. Citroën, another Stellantis brand. So we've had really good from Stellantis and really bad. Citroën, sort of in the middle. 13% increase. Market share has gone from 1.9 to 1.8. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,300 to 4,800. Cupra, for some reason a brand on the rise in this country. 49% increase. Market share has gone from 1.2 to 1.5. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,700 to 4,000, which is excellent. Dacia, I just don't think they can get the supply of these at the moment. When we tested the jogger back in the summer, Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power Channel and I, we kind of sort of worked out that the reason they didn't really do a hard sell was because I don't think they can get them. I just don't think they can get them. I think the demand outstrips supply. There's no discounts or anything. So they didn't have to sell the car to us because somebody else would just come along and buy it if we didn't. So very much so. So the sales have dropped by 60%. I imagine it's just because they just can't get them. Market share was 1.8%. It's now 1.25. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,000 to 3,400. DS, another Stellantis brand, not doing particularly well. Down by 55%. Makes some nice cars. Mike Humble, who I know, who's a fellow chap from the automotive world. Some of you will know, he's very keen on the DS models at the moment, but they just don't sell many in this country. Figures that I've got here are not good at all. Last September, they sold 551 cars. Last month, it was 250. So the market share has dropped from 0.24 to 0.09. Fiat, fortunately, complete reverse, 57% up. I imagine the 600E and stuff like that is coming out. I don't quite know. That's one of the sort of kind of biggest pieces of news in Fiat for ages, like the first all-new model since a 500E a couple of years ago. Those are the two only all-new cars they've launched since. I think it's 2015. It's just these two. So it's exciting for them. Market share's gone from 0.9 to 1.1. Number of cars sold has gone from about 2,000 to 3,000. Ford actually haven't quite matched their September 2022 total, which probably because I don't have any more Fiestas to sell, I would say, but never mind. So minus 0.4%. Number of cars sold has gone from 20,735, 20,650, and that is a 7.6% market. Genesis haven't had the best month either. They make really good cars. I've driven one of them. Nobody wants to buy them, which is a shame. Because the ownership package you get is amazing of Genesis. It's so much better than something like an Audi or a BMW. They make some interesting cars. Electric stuff, but also big, powerful rear-wheel drive cars. Some of them with some nice large engines in them. Was 0.7% of the market, now 0.4. Number of cars sold has gone from 150 to 120. So we're sort of taking, maybe like sub Sanyong levels of sales, which is a real shame. Or GM Aura, we've got nothing to compare that against. Honda, 15% decrease. I don't know why. Honda makes some fantastic cars. I'd really like to get hold of the new HRV and the new Civic, but they're quite difficult to get hold of in terms of press cards. They're not easy. They don't come to SMT events and things like that, I don't think, which is a shame, because the new Jazz that I drove, or rather, it was a few months old. The one I drove is a really good car, actually. They're fantastic cars. The Jazz. They're a bit expensive, but they are really, really good. So market share has gone from 1.7 to 1.2. Number of cars sold has dropped from 3,750 to 3,200. Hyundai, a very good month for Hyundai. A really, really good month. Not quite as good as, a certain other brand I could mention, but well established as one of the sort of main brands we like to buy in this country. So we have a 1.9% increase, which has meant the market share has actually gone down from 5.4% to 4.5%. Again, because the market's 21% up. Number of cars sold has gone from about 12,200 to 12,400. Ineos, nothing to compare it against. Move on to Jaguar. Jaguar, actually, for a brand that's supposedly on the decline, hasn't done too badly at all. 26% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,600 to 2,000. Keep dropping this. Sit up there. Don't move. Good. Market share has actually gone up from 0.7 to about 0.74. Jeep, actually, the figures don't look great for Jeep because it only sold 516 cars. But compared with September 2022, when they only sold 280, that means their market share is now at 0.2. And it's an 84% increase. That new Jeep Avenger, I think it's called. I almost drove one of those, actually, SMT day, but I had 7 cars that day, and I just couldn't really see a reason to sort of drive that one as well, particularly, because I know it's just on the same platform as about a million other Stellantis cars, which sort of put me off a bit, but never mind. They're doing well. Kia, monster sales, huge sales. Not quite beating Audi, but very good, nevertheless. Last year, 15,000 cars registered in September. Last month, 17,000. It's not quite enough to keep up with the market, which means their shares dropped slightly, but it's still 13% up, which is good. 6.6% versus 6.2. Land Rover better than Jaguar. 28% increase. So market share has gone from 2.1 to 2.2. The number of cars sold has gone from 5,000 to 6,000. Lexus, that's a big increase. That 117% increase. Market share has jumped from 0.68 to 1.23. and number of cars sold has gone from 1,500 to 3,600 or something like that. No, sorry, 3,400. Very bad at maths, viewers. Maserati, not much to say. Maxus, 4 cars. Let's move on because there's nothing to compare it against either. Mazda, quite good for Mazda actually. They should be bringing out something rather interesting kind of soon that I've seen, but I won't talk to you about that. They have gone from 4,600 cars sold to 5,500. Market share has remained very steady, about 2%. It's about a 90% increase. Mercedes-Benz, one of the first increases I've seen for a long time. Former Mercedes-Benz owner, they haven't done very well on a new agency model that they had. They really are not as big of a force in our market as they used to be. Nevertheless, we had a fantastic September. 44% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 10,000 last year to 15,000 it pretty much is last month. The market share has jumped from 4.4 to 5.3. MG though, oh my gosh. Yeah, beating Hyundai, beating so many people, like so many brands: Peugeot, Renault, Seat, Skoda, Suzuki, Vauxhall. Sorry, not quite Vauxhall. Got ahead of myself there. Number of cars sold has gone from 8,800 to 12,600, and market share has gone up to 44%. So sorry, market has gone up 44%. They've gone from 4% of the market to 4.6. Wow. Yeah, I mean, whatever you think of MGs, and I've driven all their current range, dating all the way back to, I don't know, like the launch of the MGF in 1995. I've driven all of them, yeah, they are very popular. Mini, not so popular as MG anymore. Market share has gone from 2.3 to 2%. A number of cars sold is very steady. It was 5,300, it's now 5,500. It's 5% increase, but it's not enough to actually gain it anything. Nissan, with the top selling car of the month, they have gone from 6.5% of the market to 5.8. A number of cars sold to go from 14,700 to 15,800, which is a 7.4% increase. Peugeot, very successful actually, 56% increase. The market share has gone from 2.7 to 3.4%. From 6,000 cars sold in September 2022 to last month 9,300. Polestar, for some reason, doing quite well. I do see them around from time to time. They're not outselling their parent company by any stretch of the imagination at all. I mean, Volvo had a very successful September last month, but 44.5% increase. Market share has gone from 0.35 to 0.42. Number of cars sold has gone from 786 to 1136. Porsche, 49% increase, even more than Polestar. They're becoming quite a common sight then, really. They're not really an unobtainable luxury brand at all, really. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,600 to 2,500. The market share has gone from 0.7 to 0.9. Renault, they've had a fantastic. Is it because of the new Austral, or is it just because of other stuff? I don't know. 81% increase. Market share has gone from 2% to 3%. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,500 to 8,000. Seat as well. This is one of the biggest increases on this list. 177% increase. We have a lot of people who thought they were just going to merge into Cooper and leave it, but well, they haven't. They've gone from 0.65% of the market to 1.5%. And number of cars sold has gone from 1,500 to 4,000. Skoda, however, their friends over from Czech Republic, they've had a good month too. 37% increase. Market share has gone from 2.8 to 3.2, and number of cars sold has gone from 6,300 to 8,700. Smart, not really anything to sort of say. I was offered a go in a smart hashtag one, but I couldn't think of anything to say about it really, so it didn't happen. Hope you don't mind, viewers. Sanyong, or soon KGM, the Tivoli review that I did, which hasn't been that popular for some reason. That is a brand new face of the Tivoli one I did. I think I was the first person in this country to have a video on that of anyone, which is on Structure Market 17 reviews. They have increased, but not as much as I would have expected. So from January 24, we'll be seeing it saying KGM. Whether you like the name change or not, it's up to you, I suppose. Their market share has stayed very steady at about 0.1%. Number of cars sold has gone from 257 to 274, which is a 6.6% increase. Subaru, on the other hand, I'm not really sure what's happened to Subaru. I don't really keep much track of what's going on there these days, because this is a minority player in our market on the bad cars. It's just people don't buy them over here. 138% increase, which means the market share has doubled basically from 0.1 to 0.2. Number of cars sold has gone from 232 to 552. Suzuki, a very good month for them, 122% increase, 0.9% the market, now 1.7. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,000 to 4,600. They do make some quite nice cars, actually, Suzuki. I've driven most of them, I think the Sways and the Across, which I'm not even sure is sold over here anymore, actually. Somebody in the comment section possibly let me know if the Across is still being sold. Tesla, not the best month. Last September, they were on fire. We've got sort of like, 10,000 cars. That's gone down to 6,400. Market share has gone from 4.4 to 2.4, and it's a 35% decrease. Toyota, very strong player in our market. They've actually increased by about 6.8%. Their market share was 6.8%, it's now 6 because of the overall market trend. Number of cars sold has gone from 15,300 to 16,300. Vauxhall, number of cars sold has gone from 10,000 to 13,000, which is just beating MG, which is really strange. So it's a 39% increase, which is good for them. And the market share correspondingly has gone from 4.3 to 4.9. I do have a review of the Astra Sports Tourer coming out at some point. It is very, very shambolic though. Volkswagen, the top seller for this month, again, number of cars sold has gone from 19,000 to 22,000, but it does mean the market share has dropped a little bit from 8.4 to 8.2. Volkswagen, sorry, Volvo, I do apologise, I'm sitting in a Volvo, I should know what it is. 77% increase, 1.6% of the market, 2.4. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,700 to 6,600. Very good. And other Britishes like Morgans and things, we don't tend to look at those and other imports. So 21% increase. Number of cars sold in September 2022 was about 226,000, and now it's 272,000 approximately. So there we go. Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. I do apologise for this busy place where I've been recording this today. I should have picked somewhere else, but never mind. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video in the comment below, especially if you are someone who enjoys looking at monthly figures. I know those of you are out there, even if some of you don't. And we shall see you again soon for not really very penetrative market analysis.